Romeo and Juliet may not have cared about what's in a name, but your potential readers do. Hey guys, I'm Marilyn and welcome back to my channel. Before we dive into today's content, I want to apologize for not putting up a video last week. I was recently diagnosed with fibromyalgia and I realized that I've been having a flare for the last 2 months. So life has kind of been a bit hectic and I didn't get the time to make a video for last week. But anyway, let's get into today's video. In today's video, I will be giving you 5 tips on choosing a title for your novel. So my first tip is actually don't feel pressured. A lot of people are going to be asking you, what is your book's name? And if you don't have an answer, you can feel a little bit like an idiot. But don't worry about it. You don't need to have a title at the beginning of the process while you're drafting or even while you're editing. You only need to have a title at the point of querying or taking the final steps for self-publication. Obviously, in terms of marketing, it does help if you have the title, but you can still change that closer to the publication of the book. And sometimes the title even changes after querying. Your agent may want you to put on a different title, your publisher may want a different title, you may decide close to self-publication that you're going to go with a different title. So don't feel the pressure to have one immediately. You can literally just call it New WIP or Island WIP or whatever floats your boat until you can think of a title. The second tip is to spitball. So any title you think of, write it down. As you write your draft, or even as you write the second or third draft, even as you edit, you might come across certain phrases or words that play an important part in the book or that you think would be a cool title. Write them down as you get to them. Anything that you can think of, write it down on a single page or in a single document. Then you can cross some of them out, the ones you don't really like. You can combine some of them. You can take out certain words from some of them, whatever floats your boat. And if you have them, you can start the process of narrowing down that list until you get 1, 2, or maybe 3 potential titles that you feel could work for your book. Then step number 3, Google it. Now that you have a narrowed down list of potential titles, Google each of them. You don't want to name your book something that is already the name of a game, a TV series, a movie, or any other books. If you name your book The Hunger Games, you're not going to show up in search results and people are just going to be very confused. Also, look out for certain cliches within your genre. If you name your young adult fantasy Crown of Blood and Fire, it might not stand out from the rest because those 3 words are very typical titles for young adult fantasy novels. But then again, Crown of Blood and Fire sounds like a pretty cool name for a book, so don't follow my advice. Next up is thinking of the future. Is this going to be a standalone or will there be spin-offs, sequels, prequels, whatever? If you're planning on writing a series, then you have to keep in mind that there will have to be some coherency among your series titles. So are you going to do something like J.K. Rowling, where she went Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban? So you're taking the main character's name and you're putting it in the title, kind of like the Percy Jackson books as well. Are you just making titles that sound a lot the same, like Laini Taylor's Strange the Dreamer series, where you have Muse of Nightmares? It kind of takes that theme of dreams throughout the titles and also the syllables sound the same. Maybe even like Tahereh Mafi, who does Shatter Me, Defy Me, Restore Me, I can't remember the book's names, or Sarah J. Maas, who does Throne of Glass, Crown of Midnight. You see a theme and also the sound is pretty much the same. Are you naming your books number 1, 2, and 3? Are you saying, I can't think of an example right now, but let's say your book's name is Grace of Angels, and then you name it Grace of Angels 1, Grace of Angels 2, whatever. Just think about that, and think about those other titles also shouldn't be taken in other works, and it also shouldn't succumb to the cliches of the genre if you want your title to catch attention and stand out for potential readers. So just think of the future. You don't have to know all the names of your future titles. Just bear in mind that you need to choose something that is susceptible to elaborating in future books. And then number 5, ask your audience. If you have any sort of author platform or social media presence, then you're probably already interacting with people who could be readers in the future. Make some polls, ask them to comment which title they like. Twitter polls are a great way to do this. So maybe you have 2 titles left that aren't taken, that work for future titles, and that you really like. Now you need to know which one is going to attract readers' attention the most. Which one will they want to pick up and read? And the best way to know that is to ask them. You can even ask your audience to submit extra examples. If you're at the beginning of the process, at the spitball process, and you are hitting a wall, you can ask them for suggestions for a title. That way you know that if you choose the title that they wanted, it'll be something that will attract that group's attention. So those are the tips I have for you for today. Please remember that the title should also reflect the theme and the genre of your novel. In this video, I didn't go into particular detail into how to choose a title that fits your book. If you want me to do a video precisely on that, then you can leave a comment below. Also, please tell me in the comments which bonus videos you would like for September. And if you have any writing advice video requests, you can also leave them in the comments. If you like this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up and a share. That lets me know that you like that content, and it also lets YouTube know the same, so that makes me very happy. As always, you can find me on my website, Instagram, Facebook, Tumblr, and Twitter. All the links are listed below. Don't forget to subscribe if you want writing advice videos every Friday and tons of bonus content. And ring that little bell, I think it's on this side, ring that little bell if you want an email notification to your inbox as soon as I upload. And then I will see you guys next week. Bye!